Hey, everybody. You're listening to the AdSkills Pro podcast, where we share the case studies from top media buyers. And the best news is at the end of the show, you'll have a chance to hire these pros. So I'm your host, Kate Buck, and today I'm sitting down with Pamela Carpenter. Hey, Pamela, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How about you, Kate?
I'm doing well, thank you. Now, we chatted a little bit before we started this interview, so I might know a bit about the answer to my first question, but I'm curious for you to tell everyone listening, what were you doing before you became a media buyer? And also, what was it that sparked your interest in media buying and kind of got you into it?
Okay, well, I had kind of walked away from, I didn't have a choice. Somebody else got carried out in handcuffs. So I lost my job, and I kind of got thrust into the situation where I had to just create my own employment immediately. Like, it wasn't really a choice for me. Although I do have to say, I tried to sell coffee at my grandfather's funeral when I was 5 years old. So probably I've always had the spark there to start my own business. But in any case, so I started out in web design and social media management, and that kind of transitioned over the years to where now I build online membership platforms and course platforms.
Online membership platforms, so like on WordPress websites, LMSs, or what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a variety. Yeah, definitely WordPress. And most recently, I actually just worked on the team that developed funnel flicks for Russell Brunson over at ClickFunnels.
Oh my goodness, that sounds like fun. And so what aspect of media buying, how does that impact you as a media buyer?
Well, for the longest time, and I think when we get into business by accident, it's like a thing that a lot of us fall into, that we wear referral-based business like it's a badge of honor. And we kind of lock ourselves into a cycle of feast or famine when we do that. And it also lets us avoid the drudgery part, which is building the infrastructure and systems that we need. So there just came a point in time that as I grew and I developed, and I wanted to transition more into coaching people about not, that it wasn't just about the platform. If you build it, they will come really only works if you're Kevin Costner. or if you actually do have a field of dreams. If you do, please hit me up, because I'll come and see it. But there's a business model that drives successful memberships, and like we can see it living an example at AdSkills. There's a model behind that drives it. So I wanted to work for some people, and I didn't really have any idea about how to fill that program, because you can't do that just referrals.
And that's what set you out to learn a more systematized, like scalable solution to continue to fill your pipeline with customers instead of just waiting around for the next referral.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I kind of learned a little bit of a system, which worked out perfectly for me because I'm kind of introverted about a lot of things. And it was actually called the introvert selling system. And that, I was like, oh yes, that's for me. Let me go and grab some of that. And then when I saw what the power of that ad was, then I was like, oh wow, hey, what can I do to tweak this? And so of course I reached out for my bulletproof programs to really refine how I was, because it isn't, those ads aren't, if you build it, they will come either. There's a whole lot about an audience, about the prospect that you really need to know to find them on any network.
So you were doing this web stuff, and then you decide to learn media buying to fill your business. And that's when you get into Bulletproof and to AdSkills. What you'd done this one ad and, seen the power of it. And now you're trying to expand your knowledge in that area. I'd love to know how AdSkills community and the AdSkills programs have helped you to become, a better media buyer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I guess I've known Justin and Shauna for a lot of years, but I kind of had it in my head that media buying wasn't for me, or that somehow I wasn't for it, that was for other people and other businesses with other structures. So when I started really diving into not just the courses, the information, but the community, seriously, Pro League is probably the best investment hands down that I've ever made in my business. I can be an introvert. I don't even have to ask a question. I can go there and read and do a simple search. And most of the time, there are some very, very brilliant minds in that community, and they freely share their information, you know? So it's almost like having my own little private brain trust of media buying over there that I can reach out to. I can slip in quietly. I can go in and ask a question. And these are highly skilled professionals who will reach out and lift each other up. And I think that's another thing that I really love about the community. There's no spirit of competition there. It's a very cooperative, uplifting environment that everybody knows that there's more than enough for everyone, and we all lift each other up. So I think that that's absolutely a critical piece.
I love that about the AdSkills community. It's also one of the few places where I feel like even the best of the best of the best go to discuss stuff. And normally they kind of keep that behind closed curtains, or sometimes in a community, there's more, you know, new people than old. So the topics, sometimes you can't, you know, get some of the real advanced or high level or cutting edge stuff. And all the best of the best are there, and they're open and they share, and it's really amazing. So thanks for saying that. I want to hear about some of your campaigns that you've done, and some of your, maybe your favorites or your best, or the ones you're most proud of that you've worked on.
Yeah. Okay. Well, like I said, the introvert selling system, and what it actually is, and I learned it from Kevin Hutto. I don't want to share his information and not like say his name, but it is basically your sales pages in a Facebook ad. It is very long form copy. It's strategically written, like there's a reason for every single word in the copy, but the long form ad links to a survey, which goes to a strategy call, which let me fill a program selling on the phone. And, you know, at the time it was a $3,000 program. So basically it is a high ticket appointment funnel, and you get to bypass all of the crap that introverts hate, like the webinar, the Facebook Lives, all of those things. So to cold traffic, when I ran that ad, I spent I burned $100 on the creative, you know, the dark post to test the image. And it was a really interesting thing that I wouldn't have known to look for had it not been for AdSkills. The ad that got the most engagement, the image, the creative that got the most engagement, was not the creative that actually got results. So it was the weirdest thing. So because of what I had learned in AdSkills, I ditched the creative because I can't take likes to the bank. My mortgage company doesn't accept those as payment. So I took the ad that got the results, the clicks and the completed surveys. So at the end of that, like, I was getting applications to strategy calls for $18.94, which is like
for a $3,000, but then for a $3,000 program.
Yeah, for a $3,000 program.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fabulous. And I still use the same ad. I haven't changed anything. When I need to fill my pipeline, I turn it on, and that it still works. And this is a year later. So, but the ad to the survey, and the survey has some qualifiers in it. So I have a DIY option. And if people check that in the survey that they want the DIY, they go to a sales page. They don't get on my calendar. But if they want it done with you or done for you, then it gets them onto the phone with me at a fraction of the cost at what it costs to get somebody onto a webinar. And you don't get an immediate ROI on a webinar. You have to wait for people to get on the webinar and to see if they watch your presentation, and then your follow-up series and all of those other things. So for me, those were an awesome way. I didn't want to do webinars. I didn't feel confident about doing that at the time. Plus, I needed money quickly. So since it was a one-on-one coaching experience, I could get that money in the door on the phone, you know, and that was just the perfect way for me to be able to do that. But, you know, it ended up, other than the $100 on the creative and then $175 ad spend, and I closed $15,000 in like 9 days.
It's a really good return on ad spend.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, and I still kind of vacillated around about doing that. I was scared to do the media buying. So I wouldn't even call it that, like, because it freaked me out so bad. And now I'm like, okay, here, listen, you know, so when my people come to me now, this is where you need to go. And, you know, because if you're not going to pay for traffic, you know, it's a wish.
Now, if somebody has a high ticket coaching system like that and they want to use this system advertisement to the to the survey to, I heard you say to schedule a call or to a information product option, if they're interested in the system, is that something that you now work with other people on to implement in their businesses as well?
I do, and I wouldn't have felt comfortable saying that, but I've also done this for clients in the health and wellness space. And direct fitness space.
Okay.
So those, and then a membership, of course, for a higher level, the VIP version of the membership where they want more direct access. And that was in multifamily real estate, but yeah.
I'm going to put a pin in that for after the interview. I want to talk to you about that when we're done. But to let people know what's the best way to get in contact with you if they are interested because they have one of these products and they want to work with you on setting up this the system to buy traffic and fill their pipelines. Yeah,
they can email me at Pamela@website-rescue.com or just ping me on Facebook.
Awesome. So you guys, thank you so much for being here. Pamela, thank you so much for being here and talking to us about your high ticket funnel. Yes. And inspiring people that no matter where they are and whatever breaks you into media buying, that it's something that you can have success with to keep your pipeline full. There are probably lots of freelancers on here, whether they're media buyers listening or maybe they have a freelance service-based business in any niche or industry that would be interested in this. You guys should reach out to Pamela and sign up and go through her funnel system, schedule one of those calls. But thank you for being here, Pamela, and thank you guys for listening in. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next episode.
If you'd like to learn more about how to use paid traffic and analytics to scale your business, subscribe to the AdSkills channel so you'll be notified every time new content is released. If you'd like to learn more about the topic we just discussed, check out the related video we're posting right now.